Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel where I'm discussing manhood and all its complications and redefining in society today. There are many men that feel like manhood is under assault by women, and I try to turn that way of thinking away, that women are not attacking manhood. Throughout history, manhood has been redefined due to cultural changes, innovations, advancements. And we happen to be going through one of those times now where manhood is being redefined because it's not easily demonstrated as it usually has been through physical strength. It's more now we need people that do organization, multitasking, and all that is done at a push of a button. So there's a number of reasons why manhood seems to be not valued, but manhood would always be valued. So I have written a manuscript, Manhood Interrupted but Never Destroyed. And that is true. Manhood would never be destroyed. It may go through some changes and take some time to get used to those changes, but manhood has never been destroyed. So today I will be talking about manhood versus masculinity. In my last video, I talked about masculinity versus manhood, and there's a distinct difference between manhood and masculinity. Masculinity is more about self, the attributes that a man takes on to show his maleness. Masculinity can be demonstrated by a man or a boy because it is just attributes, characteristics that are taken on to signify I belong to the male group, and it gives validation saying, do you see this? Yeah, I see that. You are a man. And we know that women can demonstrate masculine qualities. So masculinity is really about self and identification, where manhood is more of a lifestyle, the way someone carries themselves, and manhood is always demonstrated in relationship with others, because a man would then provide and protect and procreate, and that is done. He needs someone to protect, he needs someone to provide for, he needs someone to procreate with. So that is done in relationship with others, while masculinity is totally by self. So that is a distinction. And I wanted to go on and talk further about manhood. If you look at the Bible, and a lot of men choose to say when they want a woman, we want to go back to the woman of the Bible. So I will be using a lot of biblical references and points of views and dissection and close study, so we can see that's where men would like to go back to traditional manhood, and they refer to the Bible. They want biblical women. There was biblical men and there was biblical marriage. So I will be addressing that. So in 1 Corinthians 16 verses 13 through 14, it kind of tells you about manhood, the 5 pillars of manhood. And in 1 Corinthians, it says a man should be on his guard. He should stand firm in faith. He should be courageous. He should be strong, and he should do everything in love. So that's what one passage in the Bible sums up manhood. And we always see courageous and strong. Those are true definitions that go across the board in masculinity and manhood, that a man should be courageous and strong, be on your guard, but do everything in love. It's something added from the Bible through scriptures that a man should do everything in love. All right. The state or period of being a man rather than a child is a standard definition of manhood, and that doesn't leave too much guidance, right, or instruction. The state or period of being a man rather than a child is manhood. If you go by that definition, I think you'll probably be really in the weeds like a lot of people are. Uh, Another definition saying becoming independent and responsible. And now that takes it another step further. We're getting closer to what I perceive is manhood, and of course it's being independent and responsible. Now the word men comes from Latin meaning mind, and that's very interesting. The meaning is found in such words as commentary, mentality, mention, and reminiscent. So a man encompasses the ability to think, to act, to be. So it is of the mind. It is of a state of being, right? So manhood is more than physical strength. It actually comes with a lot of responsibility. It is a lot of responsibility. And when men say, I want to be the head of the household, you are taking on responsibility, accountability, wisdom. You are supposed to be able, and you don't just say, I want it. People have to see that you encompass that, that you live that out. It diminishes fear. The home, is secure because he's responsible. He's accountable. He is walks in wisdom, and he does everything in love. So to be the head of household is not to just stand in a position. It is a lifestyle. I do all things like this, okay? So there are stages of manhood that I like John Eldridge said, and I named this person because I find this really interesting, what he says about the 6 stages of manhood. And let's look at that. He says the first stage of manhood is the beloved son. This is boyhood. A young boy needs to know that his father delights in him. So stages of manhood, just like I did human development, we need these stages as we grow and develop. And the stage of manhood, that's important because manhood is taught, instilled, and learned. Someone pours in manhood to a young man. A young man gets to see examples of how a man walks, talks, sits, interacts with close family, friends, extended family. A boy gets to learn how to be a man. In this very first stage, it says a boy needs to know that his father delights in him. And there are so many young boys who have absent fathers. So it's important to the boy that his father, the figure that he will emulate, delights in him, enjoys him. The son makes him smile. The son makes him proud. And the son tries to do things to make his father proud and happy and buck up his chest when he accomplishes things and dad praises him. But many boys are missing. Many men have missed this stage in their development, and many young boys are right now not having this stage. And this stage is so important because it gives pride. It gives wanting to achieve. And so that is missing for a lot of young men. The next stage is the cowboy stage, and that begins adolescence. And I find this so wonderful. It's a time of adventure, hard work, and taking risks. And we always have that stage where we out there, we trying, we doing, we testing the limits, and it's a time of adventure, hard work, and taking risk. And I think a lot of young men do the cowboy stage, whether their father's present or not in the home or in their upbringing. The next stage, stage 3, is the warrior stage, and this is 19 and the 20s. And a lot of people that are on social media, in Reddit and on the Manosphere and other forums discussing the difficulties of young adulthood and in relationship and the women available to date right now, they're probably in the warrior stage. And this is when a young man needs a mission, a cause, something worth fighting for. And a lot of times that's career, right? And it can be other things, but you're always supposed to have a passion in your life. And this is a time when you're developing a passion, something that I will fight for, that's important to me. I have a cause and a mission in life. And we see a lot of young people that are uh, advocates, and they really care about nature. They really care about animal cruelty. They care about other things. And it's a good thing to have a mission. In the warrior, I know how to fight. In earlier times in history, the warrior actually went out and fought in battles. The warrior actually went out and on missions. I love that in the Native American, they went out on their mission and they found their name and what have you, where they went on a quest by themselves, and it was important to them. But this is what instills value. I'm worth something. I matter. I'm important. I'm seen. I'm heard. I get to demonstrate courageousness within myself. Now, this isn't dependent. I get to demonstrate courageousness and bravery. I stand for something with someone else. This is in you, imparted in you, the feeling inside of you. This is giving you value to yourself, regardless if you have a mate, a girlfriend, or what have you. This is building you up. It's a human you're going to be. And when I say people are so caught up in what do you bring to the table instead of who do you bring to the table. And this right here, being the warrior, is building up your self-esteem, having something you care about, having a voice in life, standing strong. And this is important. And it's so sad that in when young men are 19 in their 20s, a lot of times they're involved in gang activity very strongly, but that's giving them a cause. That's giving them a mission. It's giving them something worth fighting for. And that is in a negative aspect. I wish it would be something where the young man could go and feel this sense of pride, courage, that is positive. But they have to look for it themselves. They have to want to go towards something positive that they care about. But we have to also instill some guidance and direction to give them something to have a passion about before they hit the warrior stage, while they're in the cowboy and the beloved son stage. That it's great to have a passion, a drive for something that's not violent, that's not criminal, that will lead to your demise. So the warrior stage is important in this prime of lifetime for 19 through 20-year-olds, where their body is at peak physicality. They're beautiful, they're sexual, they're testing themselves, they're out of the restraints of guidelines of parents and more free, and they want to be independent. But it can get misguided and go in the wrong direction, and a lot of people do something in this men do things in the warrior stage that they later regret. But like I said, a lot of them are left on their own without guidance or sampling from a strong male figure. And so it can go bad. The number 4 is the lover stage. How wonderful. How wonderful. The lover stage. Yes, you should be a lover. It is part of who you are. And everyone, you have Christianity and it says, no sex, no sex, no sex. But it should say, like I say, it tells you everything you cannot do, but it should always tell you what you can do. That's what the beauty of religion and the Bible. It really tells you all the beautiful things you can do, and being a lover is part of being a human, and it is part of Christianity. Yes, you should be a lover. You should enjoy being a lover. You should be a great lover. So the lover stage is 20s through 30s, and we know a lot of loving going on at that time, right? And it's the awakening of the heart, though. And that's what's so wonderful about the Bible when it speaks of romance in the Song of Solomon. Oh, he is just enraptured in every essence, every inch of his body. He is in love with someone, and he just thinks they are the most beautiful, and she does too. and they can't say enough about how they long to be with each other and how they love each other, and they speak about their physical appearance and what it reminds them of, and it goes on and on and on. But the Song of Solomon isn't talked about that much. But the lover stage is the awakening of the heart. The heart matters. Sex drive is one thing, but the heart is another thing. When love happens and all those chemicals are released and you're in cloud nine, and some of you are just blind. Your friends are telling you this person's no good or this isn't going to last, and those hormones got you just feeling so intensely the good things, and then when the bad things finally do come to the surface, you crash and it's your heart broken, and it is traumatic, and no one should devalue your pain, and it didn't work out, but you're still alive, right? Others have suffered heartbreak too, and made it. So even when it hurts so bad, you think you just can't go on. Take heart. The heart is resilient. The heart finds love whenever it's looking for love, and you can bounce back. It may take a while, but as I've been saying in all the videos, if you get into the stage of complaining builds bricks and builds you in and makes your world small and makes you go to isolation. Every woman is bad. Every man is bad. I'll never find love. This is so terrible. I can't get over this. Oh, I'm just shattered. I'll never be the same. All of that makes you small instead of expansive. I give myself time to heal. I reflect on the relationship, where it went wrong, how the person was wrong, how I was wrong, what did we both do to contribute to the breakup, was it the right time, was I a developed person. This is a time of evaluation instead of the closing off. Whenever we get to complaining, a complaining stage in our lives, we are becoming small. We are becoming isolated. We are being restricting ourselves, limiting ourselves, and closing off. And people say, my heart is closed, or my heart is cold, or, that is not a good state to be in. As I said, in the stages of human growth and development, those are red flags. It's a red flag for you. What are you going to do the rest of your life with a closed heart, or I'm not going to try and think again? What kind of future then do you see for yourself? And I think people don't go beyond that. I'm just in the complaining. I'm closed off. It's a fear state, and just in battle, when you're in fear all the time like that, you end up with PTSD. You're in a fear state, and you are going to end up with PTSD from dating, PTSD from falling in love till you just can't function in that area. You have memories, everything reminds you and everything like that, and you have to heal. Just like a soldier with PTSD or any other victim of PTSD, you have to heal. You have to do the work. You have to minimize the effects so you can be able to be a part of society and go after the things you want. And a lot of times people want a real relationship, but they're like, I'm not putting myself out there. So the lover stage is the 20s to 30s. The next stage is the king stage. And it's so funny. People are online, especially Facebook, well, any other place. I'm a king. Here's the king. I'm a king. Here's my queen. Just throwing those words around. I'm a king. What makes you a king? I don't know. What makes you a king? Let's see. King stage is 40 through 60s, according to John Eldredge. 40 through 60. We have 20-year-olds saying they're kings, right? This requires wisdom and selflessness, because the character of the man's heart has been shaped enough to be entrusted with power, money, and influence. And what it's saying here, the king stage is when the man has reached an optimal level of wisdom through experiences, through times. He has had the heartache in relationship. He know how to recover. He has done all the foolishness and risk taking, and he has decided that that's not what he wants. He's emotionally stable. His trials did not beat him. He hung in there. He found made strategies and plans to overcome. So now he's a king. A king is a wise ruler. You can crown anybody a king, but you better be careful of what you're going to get. Some people can't handle power because they never was over anything important and understood it affected many people. They never was had to strategize to improve things for others. Remember, a king rules over land and people. And so he is responsible for the lives and the well-being of people and his land. So he has to operate with wisdom, and wisdom is you're able to take in facts and information, take those facts and information and make decisions at times when they're needed. You know when to use those facts to operate out of facts and information. So that is wisdom, when you know how to use facts and information to have good outcomes and to get to where you need to be and create what you need to create. And it's saying a man in his 40s and 60s, in his life and in his experiences, he should have had many challenges, many obstacles, just life experiences he successfully navigated to have outcomes he wanted, to mediate disasters or traumas or bad things. And so it's life experiences that make a good king, that isn't involved with self. The crowning of kings in relationships and on Facebook, those people are still involved with just themselves. Look at me. It's pride, it's ego. Who I am. I'm regal, I'm royalty. I am a king. That is self-involvement. A king answers to his people. He keeps his eye on their needs and he meets them. He takes care of the land. He knows when to send out soldiers and fight battles. He plans how to win. He takes care of wealth. And that's what it says in the king stage. He can be entrusted with. It didn't say he has money, power, and influence. He said they can be entrusted with power, money, and influence. And that is what the fifth stage, that all your development is getting you to that place. And like I said, we're probably in the warrior and lover stages where men have the most difficulty, and they're not able to overcome, to navigate, to make good choices during that time. And we lose a lot of our men to incarceration. We lose a lot of men to drugs. We lose a lot of men to violence. We lose a lot of men in the warrior and lover stage. And we're losing men right now in the lover stage because they're saying men going their own way without women, right? Incels have said, I ain't capable of finding a woman. They don't want me. We are losing our men in the lover stage too, because they are shutting down, they're walling themselves in, isolating, and they're not doing the work to build themselves, to become, to maneuver, to strategize, to plan. It's complaining, and the complaining is attacks. You're attacking the thing that you want the most. They want most to have a relationship with a wonderful, loving, beautiful woman, what they even say a biblical woman, and yet they're attacking what they want most. And it's not attractive. It's not attractive. It will not attract other women that you attack like that. I have a young daughter, and she, of course, is single, so men approach her to want to date her, and then she can hear those little taglines of the red pill community, frame, and manosphere, all those taglines, and she's like, oh my gosh, moving on. And she say, I hear the way you're speaking, and you kind of speak like the community, and they try to play it off. What? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? And she just said, I don't have time for it, and she moves on. It's not attractive. The community that you adopting their verbiage and their way of thinking. Women find sexist, misogynistic, abusive, and you're aligning yourself with that. You're actually doubling down on your prospects of finding a mate and a true companion, and that's not good. You're actually just really adding fuel to the fire, but you will learn that through time and experience, and you will move on, hopefully from that. And you're setting up, like I say, you set yourself up. I'm an adversary of women. No one who goes and date their adversary. You're my enemy. It's a stance of we're enemies now. Do you want to really declare women your enemy? The thing that you want most in life, you now declare it your enemy. It's like money. Okay, I can't get money, so now I declare money my enemy, and I'm going to talk about it. I'm not going to fool with it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm going to do everything to make sure money knows I don't want it. You don't do that to money because you have difficulty getting money, but to a person, you do that to a person. You don't do that to other things, but they are setting themselves up as the enemy, antagonizer. I don't know, but it's not mature to go into combat. I can't have it, so now I'm finna attack it. I don't understand. I find it difficult for me to navigate, so now I'm gonna attack it. I don't get what I want when I want it, how I want it, so now I am becoming a voice of contempt, rage, maliciousness, abusiveness, and I'm doubling down and I'm sitting here by my lone self, and I'm gonna really have at it about these women. I don't think that is operating in wisdom and planning and strategizing to accomplish what you want, to move forward and advance, to prosper yourself, to grow yourself. 40s and 60s, you should be able to be entrusted with power, money, and influence. And going through these other stages, build someone who is not physically strong, but strong in integrity, mentality, adaptability, compromise, maneuvering. You have to build yourself in so many other ways. And I hear men encourage people, go to the gym, get physically fit. Like I say, that's good for masculinity, but that does nothing for manhood. You have to build and become strong in a different way. And then the last stage John Eldredge speaks about is the sage stage, and that's 60 and beyond. The older man now steps aside to let younger men carry the load. Carry the load. He is now sought after for his wisdom and counsel. So that's beautiful. You have carried yourself as the beloved son, the cowboy, the warrior, the lover, the king, and you are just filled with life experiences and how you managed and overcame. And now people look to you to pour into them, to teach them, to tell them how you managed to do it and did it with dignity and honor and integrity. And this is what they say, the older man is stepping aside and he's saying, this is good to see the young man come. I paved the way. I opened some doors maybe for him. I made it easier for my fellow man. And we don't have, they say it's a bro code and you don't break bro code and all this stuff, but we don't have that. I am paving the way for the younger generation. I'm making it easier. I'm helping them to understand and navigate it. So many men feel alone, and they are alone. It's more than a feeling. They are left out there flopping in the wind, and we need to change that. And guess who? If you say women are destroying manhood, all right, who's building it back up? Where are the 60 and beyonds? Where are the kings that's taking time to go back and help these young men that may be fatherless, or their father's missing through divorce, incarceration, or death, or they just aren't there? And where is a safety net for our boys? Where is the pour into our young men? Before we say women are destroying manhood, we have to see, how did that man get to the manhood he says is being destroyed? What is the manhood you are at right now that you're saying women are destroying? Society doesn't like anymore, because if the presentation of mass incarceration, gang violence, drug use, and sellers, and household without men, if you're saying women did that to manhood, you are wrong. And you're going to have to step back and take a real reality check and say, is this true? Am I this beloved son, cowboy, warrior, lover, king, sage? I'm all of these great qualities, and women are saying, I don't want that. Remember, manhood shows a man who's on his guard, stands firm in faith, is courageous, he's strong, not just his body, but strong, and does everything in love. Do women really attack that manhood? Okay, I have always used the provider, the three pillars or three legs of characteristics of manhood. I find it's great. I love it. It's great to apply to everything that I discuss and encourage. So Dr. David D. Gilmore came up with a book, Manhood in the Making, and he used provider, protector, and procreator. And I find that great because, like I said, a man needs to be in a relationship to demonstrate provider. Who does he provide for? Himself, his potential mate, spouse, and the children. He's a provider. So that is demonstrated. As you are single, you can't demonstrate that too much except for with yourself. And that's what you bring, that's who you bring to the table. Can I provide for myself? Have I reached manhood and I'm able to first provide for myself before I want to invite someone in to my world, my reality, okay? Is he a protector? Does he protect himself? Is he out there doing activity that may lead to his demise, his incarceration? You know, what does he do? Do he protect himself? And this isn't when someone says something to you, you fight. No, you protect your livelihood. You protect yourself from poverty. You protect yourself from going into things that really lead you down a dark place. Is that who is showing up to a table to say, I want someone to be with me? You want someone to be with you and you do dangerous activity? You do harm to your own self? You almost just one accident away from overdosing or becoming a drug addict or becoming homeless or, like I say, incarcerated? Is that who you're showing up to the table with? And procreator, your dignity in procreating. How many children have you already had? How many baby mamas you have? I have 5 baby mamas and 10 children. That's just not attractive and a good look. A woman you bring in, you're either telling her you need to sign in to help me take care of the numerous children that I have already, or I'm inviting you to come into my world and sign up. Me, I have 5 children. I don't take care of any. Don't you think she should be scared you won't take care of any that you have with her? It is important. Manhood is a lifestyle. It isn't a demand. It's not a demand. See me, I'm grown, I'm a man. That is not what it is. Okay. All right. I saw Pastor Vlad, V-L-A-D, and he had 5 stages of manhood I found interesting. He said, you were born male. Your DNA says female and male. No matter what you do the rest of your life, you're choosing he, she, or whatever, you are born male, and that's it. You become boys. You become those little boys, and they say, oh, he's such a boy. He's always running, playing dirty, tearing things apart, breaking stuff. So you start exhibiting characteristics that society and culture say are qualities and attributes of boys. You grow to become a man. It's intentional. You Someone is instilling it in you. You are looking for what makes a man through examples of your father, how he treats a wife, how he treats his children, how your uncle behaves, how granddad is. You're looking all around you to see examples of who you're supposed to become as you age. You see, we all see adults when we're children. We say, I can't wait to be grown. And you see that person, you can't wait to be grown so you can do that and do this and do that. That's what I'm choosing. You're making decisions. When I'm grown, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to become. So he grows to become a man. And that's what manhood takes, growth. Not just outward growth, that inward self-esteem, intellectual wisdom, able to take in facts and information and know how to implement them, put them in action in a proactive way for good outcome. So you have to grow to be a man. Then a fourth stage is get married and become a husband. And in this stage, to get married and become a husband means I'm no longer just self-involved. I'll care more about others and becoming a part in relationships, in a union, and I give to others. I care for others. I'm worried and concerned about others. I work to have the betterment. Get married and become a husband. Many people want to be head of a household and they're not married. They're just living with someone. And I'm gonna do a video on shacking versus marriage. And it's not the biblical thing. When you say I want a woman, they're saying I want a woman that's biblical and traditional while I'm shacking up and won't marry her. All of that is out of order. Absolutely out of order. That is chaos with one person wanting to be biblical, saying another person isn't meeting that when you're not even married. Marriage is biblical. Get married and become a husband. And you say, well, I can't find anyone that's like that. Well, you do need to check and see, are you a traditional biblical man? Because there are requirements for that also. And I will talk about that in upcoming video. Then he graduates. If you're lucky, you get to graduate to becoming a father and grandfather. And guess what? That's more accountability, more responsibility, more of a weight. You care more. There's more people added to your kingdom than a wife, and then your children, now your grandchildren. Your kingdom is just growing and becoming, and they are looking at you as that leg and that pillar, how you operate, and you affect generations. You affect your wife. If she is a subject in your kingdom, is she well taken for? Is your subject happy? Are they healthy? Are you proactive to make sure their environment is conducive to them being healthy and happy, right? And prospering. So that's what a king does. All right. Boyhood. I didn't put this person here, but boyhood is from birth to 11 and 12 years old. Boyhood. And we know what boyhood is. It's for play. It's for running. It's exploring, autonomy, jumping. It's for play. Some boys don't even get to live out their childhood. They already told you got to be a man, be a man. But boyhood is so important from birth to 11 or 12. Then the next stage is adolescence. And in this stage, you're wanted the privilege of adulthood without the responsibility, right? In adolescence, teenagers always think they're grown enough to make decisions. I know this, I am not done. They have all the answers. They want the privileges of adulthood without the responsibility of adulthood. And a lot of older young men and women are still in the adolescent stage. I want the privileges of adulthood. I want full-blown contact sports relationships with the sex and the caring and loving, and they want all the privileges of a wife and adulthood, with you seeing me as the head and you answering to me, but without the responsibility. It's not an age. This is the one stage of manhood this particular person spoke about, he said, this happens to not have an age range like boyhood, where you can kind of look at it and say it's from birth to 11 to 12. Adolescence is a mindset, development of the mind, how you think and process things, so they can go beyond the teenage years. You can have the adolescent mindset your entire life and never move from that. And that's wanting the privileges of adulthood without the responsibility, without the accountability. And that's what fathers that abandon their children, not present at home, they want the privileges of adulthood. I'm a man. I want to have a woman, and not the responsibilities. You care for your offspring. That's what an adult does. And so it's not an age, and it's not a mindset, and it can go from 13 to mid-30s and beyond. You can remain in adolescence for that. And one example this person gives of having an adolescent mindset, wanting the privilege of adulthood without the responsibility, is cohabitating. And we call that shacking up. You know, you want the privilege of a committed relationship. She's not going to see anybody else. She's only with me. We spend time together. We loving each other. She's cooking for me, doing this, and I'm doing my thing. So you get all the privileges of a committed relationship. She comes home to you. She's faithful. She's loyal without the responsibilities. But I will not marry her, because then I'm responsible for her. I gave her my name. That means it's not as easy to leave. And that's what a lot of the people in the manosphere are like, don't marry, because when you divorce, they're going to take half of your stuff or all your stuff and then get you for child support. Then you're not going to have any money. Well, when you marry, when you decide this person is good enough to live with, every day, go to bed with, in the same bed and wake up with, but not good enough to have my last name and me declaring to the world and others, I am committed to her. I am committed to working things out. That's an adolescent mindset. I don't care what people say. I see men say you don't need a piece of paper to say how much you love someone. That is gaslighting, and you should stop doing it, because marriage, an adult knows marriage signifies to the world and others, I take this woman to have my name, the most precious thing I can give her, the most meaningful thing I can give her, because my last name means she is invited into my family bloodline. She is part of my family, and she is supposed to have the dignity and everything that comes along with my family line. And then the children and offsprings I have are designated and can be picked out and known. They belong to a family unit, and they belong to the family clan of my name, and are entitled to everything that my family has. And because they are, I am committed to ensure that they have it and they're taken care of, and that it will not be taken from them. That is what marriage does. So this gaslight, I need to live with you to see if we get along, I don't know why anyone is shacking up. You get married and you don't get along. Any adult knows there are going to be challenges of two different people not getting along. It's a get out of jail free card. When I don't like you cutting your toenails in the bed, I'm leaving. I don't like how you parted your hair today, I'm leaving. Shacking up is the ability to get the heck out of Dodge whenever someone feels like it. There's no commitment. There's no responsibility. And if you're a lady that's waiting, if I live with him, I'm close to it, he'll get to know me and want me more. Honey, he's waiting for you to do something so he can get the heck out of Dodge. He's waiting in case I'm not sure I want to, pull the trigger on this. Something better may come. She's good. She's really good. But I may can find someone that's a wee bit better and fit better. So I'm not pulling the trigger and saying you are it yet. That is adolescence. That is immaturity. That's mentally unsoundness. And all of you doing is saying we're getting to know each other. Get to know each other on dates. Adolescents want the privilege of adulthood without the responsibility. And if men are telling other men, don't get married because she's going to take your stuff, that is an adolescent mindset, instructing other men how to be adolescents instead of mature and responsible. Okay? Things happen. People do get divorced. It is terrible and it's traumatic, but people are not engaging, choosing wisely when they get married in the first place, are not whole and mentally healthy when they get married. They are just out here, children in the mind, getting married with that person I hold, that person I hold, and of course it's going to be chaotic and destructive. But they want the privileges of adulthood without the responsibility. It's also your responsibility to be whole. That's why I went through the 8 stages of adulthood. Of human growth and development, because it's who you are bringing to the table. It influences your marriage. And if you're interested in having a great marriage that doesn't lead to divorce, you will do the work to make sure you are a whole and complete person. And you've met a lot of these markers that says, yes, I am a healthy, functioning adult. But no, we want to go grab somebody. This is 16, 15. We booed up and we're not even a whole, complete person. Then you get more damage from relationships. It's just catastrophic what's going on. All right, so the next stage is adulthood, embracing responsibility, doing the hard stuff, right? No longer a consumer mindset, but a contributor. And when we say consumer, I want. This look good. I want this. I want her. This is what I want. I want. You're picking women like you in a shopping center. Oh, this is the kind of woman I want. Put her back on the shelf. No, I want this. I want this. And they're saying, make sure you're able to spin plates and have many options. That's a consumer. That's a consumer going down the aisle. I want all these brands of peaches. This name brand is low sugar, heavy syrup, 100% concentrate, fruit juice. You just want to go and eat all the peaches and have a great time and not worry. I'm just here to consume. Next woman. I want the best. This is pretty. This is what's the going trend. A woman like this and this. An adult is not in a consumer mindset. Everything is I want me. They are in a contributing mindset. I give to others. I want to be with someone that I love, I'm with, and I'm going to stay there and be with her and give her all the comforts of manhood as provider, protector, and procreator, and take care of my children. I give back. And they say there are givers in the world, and then there are takers. And our society has become a more taker. What can you give me? What can you give me? What are you bringing to the table? What can I have? And it's not in the position of giving. And men are discouraging men to be that they're giving them names. They're degrading them. Oh, you care about a woman. You're a simp. Oh, you this and you blue pill. Oh, you do this. You're a sucker. I have never seen men just berate men the way they do when it comes to love relationships and women. Why are men so invested in making sure another man treats women in a certain way? I don't know. But it's adulthood is embracing responsibility, doing the hard stuff, and sometimes the hard stuff is getting back up, dusting yourself off, going back out there in the dating world, not closing off, not hardening your heart, and not now becoming an adversary or in a war and stuff. That's the hard stuff. That's the hard stuff. To not get bitter, to not get vengeful in life, to not get jaded in life. Adults can do that. Adults know there's always something after this, and it can be and probably will be better. Adolescents get stuck. I want to do all the benefits without growing up and being responsible. So the next stage, this 4th stage, is mentor and focused on others. And like I say, once you hit adolescence, it stopped being about me. It stops being about what can I have? This is what I want. And having tantrums and fits and everything and shooting up people when you don't get what you want and fighting out in public. Just all that stuff. Girls pulling out each other weave, fighting over men and stalking and all that stuff. Me, me, me. When you're in their adulthood, it becomes about others, right? And I like when what to say about joy. Joy means you put Jesus first, others second, and yourself last. You're like, that's not self-care. It didn't say don't care about yourself and make sure you're doing everything for others. No, as well as you care about yourself, as well as you look after yourself, you should have those same feelings for Jesus first, others, and then yourself. And that brings joy. But no, it's consumer. What do I get? This is what I want. I'm going to search until I get it because it's me, me, me. And they say if you want to be happy, you need to focus your attention outside of yourself. Because guess what? You're never satisfied. It's never good enough. You're always critiquing, want more, not appreciative, not grateful. When you're just a consumer, you never get enough. And some people go from $50,000, I wish I had more money, I don't have the things I want, and they can go to $500,000 and they will never have enough. I wish I had $1 million, I can't get the things I want. They get $1 million, they want $2 billion. When you're just focused on me, me, me constantly, you just really going in a rabbit hole that you can't get out. And the last stage is patriarch. If you notice all of these stages, that's why I did so many, because it's telling you these are things that you go through. You don't matter if you label them or give them a name or a number of stages, because the first one had 6, the next one had 5, this one has 5, and the last one I'm going to have 5. It don't even matter the number. You are supposed to grow, mature, and become. It's a lifestyle. It's a living experience that you get all the positive from. You get the positive. Negatives happen, but you're able to get positives, and then you can help your wife, and she can look to you and lean on you, support you, and vice versa. She's supposed to do her stages before she gets married, and you can lean on her. She can support you. You can trust her, and she's your courage, and she's stable, loyal. Everybody need to be whole. And then you have children that you can give all this to impart, to instill, and they want you to live it out, right? So, of course, the last stage and final stage is patriarch. Life is all about seasons. That's what they understand. They understand there's seasons to life. There's good times, there are bad times. They will ebb and flow. They always come around. You can count on it, right? They make most of it for the benefits of themselves and others. They don't get rattled when they hit valleys, right? Because they know it's a season for everything. They know how to weather it. They know how to make it through and not cause more harm when they're in valleys. They don't curse it. They don't complain. Why? It's here for a season and it'll move on. The season may be longer or shorter each time, but they know they've lived long enough, right? It's like the baby that cries when their mother leaves because they can't understand where she's gone. She's not here. She's not present. She has disappeared. They think the mother's gone forever. And then mom comes back and they're happy. It's like, oh, she's here. How wonderful. She leaves again. It's like, oh my God, where's my mother? And it's they don't trust that mother can come back because their brain isn't developed enough. But as she keeps returning and leaves and returns, they come to find out, hey, there's no need to be alarmed. She always comes back. She always returns. I'm alone. I can be okay. I'm not in a panic. I'm not fearful. I can make it through because I know she's coming back. That's the same thing. So as you grow and mature, you learn that. While you're growing, things happen. Oh my God, this is terrible. What I'm going to do? I'm so fearful. I don't know what to happen. Then the good come back and you're all good and everything. Then bad happen again. And there you go again in the panic and anxiety. Then as you live, you learn that happens and it's okay. And I know to calm myself and be all right during these times. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I know it's a season. Just like mom returns, I can count on good things to return. And the same thing, you have to know when you're at your highest high, it's wonderful and you appreciate it, but there's going to be some valleys. Some people get so high and they wild out and they go crazy and it's just everything. And then when they hit an obstacle or lose stuff, that's it for them. They can't handle it. You see people committing suicide, don't know what to do, but they don't know that you get more mountains also. And how do you behave when it's the mountain? Are you preparing for the possible? You can't prepare for every valley, but are they kind of saying, I know something's going to come along. How am I going to function when the valleys come? Because there are seasons. So the patriarch knows there's seasons, and so they make the most of it for the benefit of themselves and others. They invest downward. Once again, it's in the Bible, we're seed planters. We plant seeds for the kingdom. And it don't matter how it's received. We do it in love. We do it responsibly to help build the kingdom, to encourage people that are trying to live the Christian faith, that they can endure, that they can make it, to give them understanding and tools and resources to draw from. The same thing with patriarchs. They start imparting downward, and we don't have patriarchs in the male sector that's imparting downward. We have 20 something and 30 something who haven't lived life experiences trying to import into their peers and young men, and it's really creating a problem. A lot of people haven't even lived and experienced. You haven't overcome and finding positive solutions. Your solutions are doubling down on negativity. It's not, and it is because the way women are reacting to what you're saying, that you kind of hide in special groups and you have people blocked out because what you're doing isn't growing, isn't healthy, isn't something you're even proud about. It's secretive. It has turned into another animal that has nothing to do with getting what you want, becoming the man you want, showing your kingdom. I can handle things. It's not doing any of this. It's making your world small and isolated. So the last thing I'll do is talk about the Bible, since men want to use the Bible as a guideline for relationships, for the type of woman they want. I have come up with my manuscript, what is called the Genesis Man, and that manhood, and I will be going over it in upcoming videos, but there is a Genesis manhood, and I break it down. But right now, I'm going to look at the Bible and biblical passages that tell you about the stages of manhood. And the first stage is always the newborn, and that's 1 Peter chapter 2, verses 2 through 3. And it says, living on milk, learning the first things first from others. This is the time others pour into you. They meet your needs. You're dependent. You're watching. You're getting examples. You see how your father moves, how he interacts. And it's just that observation, examples. And so our newborn needs that. That is the first thing. He learns the first things first. I see what a man is. I see what a woman is. I'm learning just the little things by observation. 2 is the learner, and that's Luke chapter 2, verse 52. Mature in wisdom, stature, favor with God and others. We've talked about wisdom. I think I need to do a whole video on what wisdom is. But you mature in wisdom. That's your inside, your cognitive, able to analyze and act and implement. You grow in stature, the man you become, how you carry yourself. It includes taking care of your body, your health. Favor with God. Favor with God. You grow in favor with God. And people want a biblical wife and want to be head of a household. And what are you doing to grow yourself in favor with the ones you want to be in line with? How godly are you? How close is your relationship with God? He grows himself with God and then others. How do other people see you in your community, your city? What is your name good? Are you a good worker? People see that you're kind. I said people don't even care about that. We care about sex and looks. Nobody even looking for this man is kind. He's nice. He's loving. He's spiritual. He's religious. All that don't matter. And that shows what stage you're operating in. Adolescence, I want adult benefits without the responsibility. Okay, then the owner stage. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7, and Acts chapter 1, verse 8. He takes ownership, responsible for his actions, decisions, choices. He becomes proactive, no longer dependent on people and blaming others. You become an owner. People want to own homes. People want to own cars. People want to own businesses. But have you owned yourself first? Have you become responsible for your actions, your decisions, your choices? And I stand with them. I take the responsibility. I'm not constantly saying it's his fault, their fault. That's because of this. That's because of that. If they would have did this, then I could have. That is not becoming an owner. And some people want to own everything, but they don't own themselves. Mentor, always a mentor. Manhood requires a pouring back into others. So that's 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2. No longer just taking in, but instilling in others. I haven't gone over that enough. And then the last one is builder. And that goes in line with mentor. I'm building others. Thinking of leaving a legacy and still pouring into others, supporting others. Okay, that's it. I got to wrap. My videos are way too long, but I appreciate everyone that stops by and listens. But remember to like, comment, and share. If there's anything you want me to clarify or anything that you want me to speak about, just let me know. As always, don't forget to purchase my book, When Will Eve Be Forgiven, as I look at how women have been spoken about in the Bible through history, how the early church fathers regarded women, and have women in modernity been taught correctly what womanhood means or what it means to be a woman in the Bible. So thank you so much. I'm not going to give you a heads up on what's coming next because I don't know what's next, but I guarantee it to be something that you will enjoy, and I just appreciate you all. Thank you.